All right, good morning, and thank you for joining us here today. My name is Deron Sanders, and I serve as the CEO of SG Companies and proud advocate of literacy and Beyond Basics. Today is an exciting day as we release the exciting news of the longitudinal study that Beyond Basics has done over the last 14 years, from 2008 to 2022. Since 2008, we have proudly worked to eradicate illiteracy in partnership with schools and organizations across the state of Michigan. Not just inner city, but suburban schools across 7 counties, including Oakland County, Wayne County, and others. This is one of the most important news you will hear this week at Mackinac Policy Conference. I know we'll talk a lot about electric vehicles, the Fed rate, and what's happening in the global economy, but I would ask you and urge you to consider thinking and talking about education. If we do this right, the state of Michigan can lead the way to solving the literacy crisis for everyone in Michigan and our great country. We believe a child who reads becomes an adult who succeeds. There's a solution, and we believe that Beyond Basics has that solution. It is my pleasure to welcome our co-founder and CEO of Beyond Basics, Pamela Good. Pam embodies the power of one, and the theme of this year's conference, the power of and. After delivering coats to an underserved public school in Detroit, she learned that the children needed much more than coats. This led Pam to co-found Beyond Basics to provide enrichment activities. Soon she discovered that many of the children could not yet read. Beyond Basics then developed its holistic, structured literacy approach with one-on-one diagnostic assessments and the highest dosage of tutoring, delivering their multi-sensory structured curriculum for K through 12 education. Pam, we welcome you.
Thank you. Thank you, Duran. Thank you, everyone. Welcome this morning. We're pleased that you joined us. I want to point out that we've been doing this work a long time, and we have some advocates here that are standing with us also. Curtis Wilder and Linda Orleans joined our board in 2005, so she has that persistence like we do here at Beyond Basics, so I appreciate them being with us today. We're talking about a silent epidemic. It is illiteracy. It's not just Michigan, it's across this nation. And for those of you who don't realize there is an epidemic, I'll put out a few stats. In our state, 69% of 8th graders do not read proficiently. And across our nation, 47 states, non-proficiency for 8th graders is between 60 and 77%. This is every school district. It's private, it's public, it's vulnerable schools, but it is our highest achieving schools as well. There are kids in the literacy gap. And so what we're here to announce today, we said we've been doing this work a long time. We have a study, a longitudinal study that shows since 2008 through 2022, 3,553 students in K-12 have been tracked, and we show on average that our high school kids get 2 grade levels of movement, and our K-12 on average is a grade and a half. We have the studies available online. You can look at all of the details to it, but essentially what this says is that the kids are able. They are able to learn to read, and they're counting on us adults to get this right. And this says there's a solution, and we need to come together and make sure that every child has an opportunity in K-12 education to learn to read. And there are 3 parts to that. The first is a diagnostic assessment, one-on-one. When you go to the hospital, they give you an X-ray. They have to know what's wrong and what you need. So we do that. We don't give you an X-ray, but we give you a diagnostic assessment, and it lets us know where you need to start. The second is the curriculum. You need a structured literacy approach, and that is phonics and decoding, and that's what teaches you how to read. And then the last is, the most important, is a one-on-one tutor. And our work is an hour a day, 5 days a week. And with that recipe, we can take any child, regardless of their age, and get them reading. And so once again, I say we are here. This is a call to action. There is a solution. So let's stop talking about the problem and let's start triaging how we get every child what they need. And can we all agree here today that not one more child should graduate from high school without that opportunity to learn to read before they go out into the world? I thank all of those who support us. I'm thrilled to be here today, and I thank all of you.
So Pam just talked about the solution. I want to present a perfect example of a solution, a gentleman that actually went through the Beyond Basics program some years or so ago. His name is Jacob Dura, and he currently serves as an analyst at Google, went to University of Michigan, and has one of the most stellar resumes that I've seen in a long time. And without further ado, I'm going to ask Jacob to come present. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you, Darren and Pam. I appreciate the opportunity to join you here today and show how Beyond Basics affected my life. I'm not surprised by the results that will be coming out from the study, because I'm living proof that the program works. I participated in Beyond Basics as a high school student. With their help, I became a strong reader and benefited from the relationships I developed with my mentors. When I transitioned to my first year at the University of Michigan, I quickly realized that I lacked knowledge in some subjects. But I remember what Beyond Basics taught me, which is to take ownership of my education. And that mindset has carried me throughout college, in my life, and in my career. Beyond Basics taught me how to assess a problem and create a strategy and consistently work to overcome. This helped me to realize that whatever problem I'm facing in my journey, I just need practice with patience, perseverance, and dedication. I can overcome. These qualities help me to reach whatever goal I set for myself. No matter what challenge I'm facing, I know that I can create a plan and overcome it. Students who are without literacy are currently racing towards a brick wall. No one wants to admit that they cannot read. Most people have no idea what it's like to live life without literacy. Thankfully, Beyond Basics wants not to just talk about it, but do something about it for every student. That's why I hope that each and every one of you here today realizes how important your support is. Thanks to Beyond Basics, I now enjoy a rewarding career as a software engineer at Google. I have so many boundless opportunities in front of me. And it all started because someone in my formative years took ownership to realize that literacy helps individuals take advantage of the abundance of the world. As I look around the porch today, I see partners who could also help to take ownership in their communities and help more children achieve their potential and dreams. It's incredible to me how big of a difference 6 weeks can make in a person's life. Thank you.
So I said earlier that a child or young adult that reads becomes an adult that succeeds. Jacob is a living testimony of that. And so with that, we would welcome any questions for anybody that has any.
2 questions. Where do you find the study? Oh, sorry. Where do you find the studies?
Come on.
Hi. There's a live link on the press release, included in the press release, where it's live streamed and also videotaped, and then the press kit also has the longitudinal study. And you can also go to beyondbasics.org, and we have a landing page that includes the study, the brochure, all the details.
Okay. My second question is, have you guys brought this up to the Board of Education or the Department of Education brought your solution, I guess?
We haven't had opportunity really to present to them, but they're aware of us. And they're taking a look at our data. I think next spring is when they're really going to take a look at it. And we're hoping that they're going to embrace it fully. And maybe this moment can speed all of that up. We would hope so.
Thank you, Andy.
What is your, I guess my last question is, what is your success rate? What's what is your success rate in your program?
Consistently, we have about 85% that show positive movement. And oftentimes what impacts that is really attendance. They don't show up for the full dosage, if you will. But we have very strong participation numbers and success. Yes.
No, so from a practical standpoint, how does the program work? Starting next week, what happens? Where do you go? You go to different high schools? You keep them after school? How does the program actually work?
Yes. And so, first, for years, we've had to find the money. But once we have the funding for the tutors, we have a partnership with schools. We have a partnership with Detroit Public Schools, for example. And they give us, our program is during the school day, so they give us a space to run our programs out of. We set it up. We work with the teachers. They identify the students. We assess them. The schools select which students will participate. And then the kids come hour after hour. We have tutors that see 5, 6, 7 kids a day tutoring them. And we do that for a cycle which is anywhere from 4 to 14 weeks. And then we bring other kids in and we cycle them out over the year. And then we demonstrate the outcome because we also test them out. And so it's a partnership with the schools, and we work together to get kids reading, and then they flourish in the classroom.
How many schools do you have an affiliation with?
Yeah, so we were in about 40 locations. Some of those are, I would say, about 25 schools. In a variety of districts, most of them in Detroit. But as Ron mentioned, we're in the Muskegon area, and we're going to be in the Stockbridge area too, Oakland County. But mostly it's a during the school day project. I guess one other, if you have a group of kids that's meeting anywhere regularly, like Sound Mind, Sound Body, we can partner with that organization and we can get those kids reading while they're showing up for other activities. And so wherever you have kids showing up, we can get them reading. And we're hoping one day, as Curtis knows, to work with the juvenile system because our juveniles need this help and it would help them really navigate the challenges in their lives. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yep. One more question.
How many children in the program, and what's the age that you start with or the max?
So we mostly partner with schools, so it's K-12. That's the key area. And you asked for the size. This longitudinal study tracks a little over 3,500 students, and we'll probably be serving a couple thousand kids in this next school year. Thank you.
Yeah, and I just, in closing, I just want to add that one of the things that really strikes me is that this isn't just for inner city kids. I mean, there's conceivably instances where you could graduate theoretically as a valedictorian of a school and not be reading at grade level. And so if you think about that, and then those individuals are going off to college competing or trying to compete at the highest level. And so I would really encourage you, as we've tried to do today, to have as part of your conversation over the next few days, education and literacy. And with that, we thank you. Appreciate it.